Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of the Teddy Mac Show. How you doing out there today? Everybody had a great day. Going to chop it up a little bit. A few things been going through my head. I just, who knows where to start at this point, because it's a clusterfuck of just everything going on. The world is upside down. Women think it's empowering and a flex to go in and kill their kids, and they got all this fake bravado, all this feminism, and the women ended up on the shittiest end of the stick when it come down to the end of the day. And I'm just wondering, my question for the women today is, what have you accomplished with this whole feminist abortion, LGBT, tranny, turn your son into a homo, daughter into a 304? I mean, what is it done for you at this point? I mean, at this point right here, all I see is a bunch of dysfunctional people with no type of structure in their life or nothing. You go on this whole adage of thinking that you can do this by yourself, you don't need no man or whatever, the kid is yours, I'm the table. And that's a whole nother talk show, the I'm the table thing, because y'all kill me with that. But I don't know if anybody ever told you, but the relationship is the table. The relationship. And two people bring something to that table to eat together. You know what I'm saying? It's like Thanksgiving dinner, the table, and everybody come and bring a dish, and everybody have a good time and eat at the table. So you are not the table. The relationship is the table, not you. Okay? So I wish I'd stop saying that stupid stuff, because you're not the table. Okay? You're not even a stool. Okay? Okay? You're not even a placemat on the table. Okay? Let's get that out the way right now, because I'm tired of this. Women with this grandiose about themselves, and they think that all they got to do is just put on tight stuff and show half their body, and men supposed to lose their mind. It's upside down. And I wish these dudes just get it through their head that the more you don't pay them no attention, the better it is for you. Don't validate dysfunctional, delinquent behavior. When I see a woman walking around the store half dressed, you know what I do? I ignore her ass. I don't even look her way. And I can see them sometime out the corner of their eye looking to see if I'm looking at them. No, I ain't looking at you. I already saw what I need to see when you walk towards me. I don't need to stare you up and down and look you up and down. Okay? I've been in too many strip clubs in my lifetime to be worried about a woman walking around half naked when I used to be around naked women all day. Okay? In the dressing rooms, all around the stage, everywhere. So, that don't mean nothing. Any woman know me know coochie does not move me, and neither do women walking around half naked. You just let me know you have no class, and you grew up, a heathen basically raised you. I mean, a lot of this show today is not going to be for the faint-hearted, because a lot of people are real sensitive now. Especially the men, because all they just like mama. Right now, if you listen to a guy talk, like I do this a lot. I listened to a guy talk earlier about all this LGBT stuff and all these women empowerment and all this other stuff. And I'm like, I close my eyes and just listen to him talk. And I said, if you take the bass out of his voice, it ain't nothing but a woman. It sounds just like his mama talking. Everything, you could tell dudes have been programmed by their mom or by women, because they'll say stuff that women say, key stuff like, if that makes sense. Women, what you mean, if it makes sense? If you know what you say, it makes sense, you ain't got to ask the person if it makes sense. And if it don't make sense to them, then they on your level. They're not even on your level. Okay? So I'm not about dumbing myself down to try to make somebody understand common sense. And common sense is, the big question for me is, what have you all got out of feminism? What have you built? What can you all hang your hat on right now for feminism? What have you gotten out of making either one or two sons you make right now? Either they extra moist, or either they just out here just doing stupid stuff, robbing, stealing, killing, what y'all call a YN, a waste of a human being, basically. Because if that's all you can offer to your community, and that's why everybody runs circles around us. Why do you think why do you think the Democrats trying to replace you? You think they just open the border just because they got good hearts and they want to just, service everybody else? They want everybody to be included. They're making all these major decisions and they're taking your money and doing it. They're erasing you with your own tax money. They bring these people in and they put them right in your neighborhood. Next thing you know, you go into the local stores and all you see is a bunch of people who don't even speak the language. I can't even tell you how many times I've been in Walmart, Target, different stores, and I'm trying to talk to the guy and he don't even understand what the hell I'm saying. He trying to talk to me in such broken English, I can't even understand what the man's saying. This is ridiculous. How do you have people in America in a store helping people and they don't even understand what the hell the person is saying? I don't get that. But anyway, getting back to the women, I'm curious. I really want to know what you all got out of feminism, because the feminism gave you this so-called empowerment to kill your own unborn children. And then y'all turn around and say, well, all the good men, there ain't no good men. Well, you need good men to raise good men. You can't raise no boy into no man. You raise a boy into a boy. That's what y'all do. Okay, people best learn from example, from watching and emulating, especially children. If a child grows up and sees their parents together, of course, there's going to be discord sometimes. Sometimes you may disagree with stuff, but the most important thing is that the kid witnessed that. And also they witnessed the fact that you all were able to work things through like adults and keep moving. That sort of puts in a kid's head the foundation of conflict resolution within a relationship. When you do that, learn from example. I learned everything I learned from watching my parents. Sometimes they will have a little disagreement. Excuse me. Sometimes they have a little disagreement, and later on they all right. They cooking down and loving each other and everything good. So what that told me as a child is, hey, sometimes you're gonna have situations going on in your relationship, but guess what? Two adults can work that out, and the kid grows from that. That makes a man more locked into understanding that, it's going to be things that's going on. I'm not just going to throw my marriage away. And then he sees how his father treats his mother. And then he has that example how to treat and reconciliate with his wife, and it's vice versa. How a woman conducts herself in those times, in those hard times in a relationship. So y'all problem is, y'all this microwave society. And I said a long time ago, the microwave was going to ruin people, because nobody has any time anymore, any patience or anything. They want everything wrapped up in 1 minute, or it's not valid. And that's just not how life works. Anything worth having takes work and time. Building blocks. When you see somebody on the side of the road building a home or whatever, they don't just use inferior material. They set the foundation, a concrete slab, and they build on that. They don't just throw a house up on grass or soft sand, because it's not going to stand. And a lot of people don't even have the basic tools to even understand what they need to do in a relationship. It's like, I was telling my brother, I said, a lot of times these women leave relationships, and they're the number one to leave. And nobody can understand why. I'm like, I know why. because it's just like anything else. When your expertise runs out in certain areas, you don't go any further. If I teach you how to do brakes, right? I'll show you how to take the wheel off, how to take the caliper guide pins out, how to collapse the caliper, how to take the rotors off. But then I get to the point where, you got the rear brakes. Even if you have rear disc brakes, inside that disc is your emergency brake. So it's a traditional brake shoe setup where you have brake shoes that when you step on the brake, they expand, and that's what locks your car when you set the emergency brake, so the car don't roll if anything happens. So if I just teach you how to take everything apart, but not how to put everything back together, or I get you up to the point where you know how to take the tire off, the caliper off, the rotor off. But when you get to those brakes, where you have to replace the brake hardware for the emergency brake, I never teach you that. That's where you're gonna stop. You're not gonna know how to go no further. And in most cases, you'll just quit, get frustrated, and quit because you didn't have the expertise or the knowledge to move forward to be able to complete the job. And a lot of times, if you cross-reference that, that's in relationships. Most people aren't equipped to even deal with trials and tribulations. Social media got the women thinking all they got to do is walk around half dressed with their rolls sticking out. And that's just going to be the game changer. That's going to be the game winner right there. And that's the furthest thing from the truth. I mean, you can get smashed on. A lot of dudes will smash you, but as far as a dude taking you serious and keeping you in his life, I don't see that happening. They keep you around for a smash session. But when it actually comes down to being in a relationship with you, it's not going to happen. Because even the Ray look at the type of woman to see if she's going to be good for his kids. In most cases. But you do have some dudes just go out here and just sling around and just have a bunch of kids by a bunch of different women. They don't give a damn. They're just having kids because it's fun for them or whatever, I guess. But the whole point is that if you don't have anybody that's showing you a good example coming up, how you going to function in a positive relationship? And then you got social media, every guy telling a woman, he gonna do more, he got more, he flexing and faking on the internet. And now she has turned around and gave up her situation to chase after this dude and realize it wasn't nothing but a ghost. Now she's trying to save face, and next thing you know, she ended up, her body count ended up going through the roof. Then she has an inability to pair bond because after you've been imprinted so many times, this is like a cassette tape. After a while, you keep recording that tape, it's going to degrade the quality of the tape. And it's going to get to a point where you tape over so many times where in between songs, you're going to hear in a faint distance the songs that was previously recorded. That's why women glitch on you that have been with a bunch of different men, because it's just like with that tape, that form of recording is bleeding through in between songs. So if you're dealing with a woman, she may say to you, she may hit you off with some stuff you ain't never even done. She may accuse you of something or put you on a certain level, and you're like, but damn, that's not me. But it's the previous guys that jaded her. That is what's bleeding through at this point. Now she glitching on you because now she's been with so many dudes. She's been imprinted so many times. I'm trying not to say none of them, but she's been imprinted so many times by so many different men. She glitching. That's why I don't mess with women with high body counts. Not for nothing serious. I mean, if it's a smash session and it's something that, that I decide I want to, move forward with, then yeah. But these days, man, I take a look at these women now and I just look at them like, man, get the hell out of here, man. I wouldn't even touch that, bro. I mean, I could just sense the dude, all the previous dudes just coming out her skin. You can see it in the way she talk, her actions, everything, her mentality, mindset. And she just been ran through. And not good. Not good. You know, the most valuable thing a woman could hold on to and preserve is her body. Because once she hit the wall, it's gone. No matter how fine you think you are now, a day gonna come where dudes gonna stop checking for you. That's just what it is. Ask a 75, 80-year-old woman who used to be fine as hell back in the day, the last time a guy looked at her and when the guy stopped looking at her. All good things come to an end. That's why you got to lock in and get with somebody good and just be about it. This feminism stuff, you be lonely and bitter the rest of your life. I see women, I quietly observe women who bought into that crap. They got a dog and no man and nothing. They try to say, well, I always my dog. I don't care about no man. Yes, you do. You care about a man. You want a man bad. You know, but you're trying to pacify it with this dog because you know that you destroy every relationship you get into. You know, the level of hypergamy with all this internet access and guys pumping women heads up. And I'm like, you know, it's all cap. Okay, because back when I was coming through, you know, black women had bodies. Okay, I'm talking about nice little tight bodies. Fine little things. Now these bras walking around with shirts too tiny, and they got rolls hanging out. And what is with this gut? This big old gut that look like a elephant butt cheek hanging down and tucked inside their yoga pants or whatever. Man, what the hell is that? I mean, women have gotten so comfortable now with just knowing that just thinking that, you know, all I gotta do is just give them some sex or dress half sexy or whatever, or just come out butt naked or just be sleazy and that'll compensate for everything. I can get any man I want. No, you can get smashed by most guys that don't have no standards. But I'm gonna be honest with you, that's off-putting for me. I can't. It's like, you know, just like I told a friend of mine father a long time ago, he kept saying he needed Viagra pills and all this other stuff. But I took a look at his wife. I ain't gonna say his name, but I took a look at his wife and I was like, nigga, you don't need Viagra. You need to find a little honey and you ain't gonna have no problems. Because I looked at his wife, I'm like, hell no. Nah. She turned me off. So just to test the theory, she thought she was cute. She left her for a little period of time, whatever. So me and him hooked up, and I put a little fine little thing on him. Man, that dude was like, "You was right, man. I don't know Viagra. It's my woman. She's not turning me on because I'm looking at this big old Buddha gut, and I'm looking at this woman who don't really take care of herself no more. And that's a real big problem. And y'all gonna blame, man, what's body shaming? No, it ain't no damn body shaming. It's health. It's a whole lot of things that go into that. Because let's just say that you get with this guy and y'all supposed to be hooked up and get married or whatever. Y'all go to put life insurance, whatever. Your life insurance is gonna be like covering 3 people. Your premium is gonna be like covering 3 people. You're gonna raise ultimate red flags, health red flags. That's gonna just make everything just way that much more worse. Bad eating habits. Now, let's just say you get older and you still like that, then you're gonna start having more medical problems. And then now I can't even enjoy retirement and life with you because you're in bad health. Every time I turn around, you're sick because of the way you take care of yourself. But they don't want to look at it like that. They want to look at it like, oh, you being mean or you being disrespectful or you. It's not that. It's just a simple fact that men are visual. We go by what we see. That's why a guy see a woman halfway down the block and he'll run to try to catch up with her, or he'll try to find some way to, because he don't even know nothing about this woman. She could be the nastiest, evilest woman on the planet, but he's driven by what he sees. Now, after, you talk to and deal with it for a little while, then you start realizing who you're really dealing with as a person. But in the beginning, you don't know what you're dealing with. So that's why I say, men, look, we look at, we just look, and then we go from there. And if it's a go, it's a go. But guys, certain guys are just on a different level where I see them, but I haven't seen so many of them, and all of them wearing the same stuff: fake lashes, fake hair, a pound of makeup, all type of surgery, tattoos all over the place, earrings and septums, all type of, that shit a turn off, man. Maybe these new dudes might like that, but, or some wild ass dude, but a dude that's got his stuff together, that's going to take you different places. He not going to sit up in no restaurant or take some woman with a bunch of tattoos all up her neck and all this old stuff on her face and all this other stuff in any type of important places to represent him. Because since the beginning of time, men's status has been largely judged by the woman that they're able to acquire. So, but if we looking around now, I'm telling you, man, it's like a rare thing. You know, I'm seeing more women busted and out of shape than I'm seeing women who really taking care of themselves. And I'm like this: if you don't take care of yourself, I can't expect you to take care of me. If something go wrong with me, we get old, I get sick, you already sick. That's a recipe for disaster. I'm not trying to put myself in that situation. You know, so there's too many men out here just like scared to tell women what they need to know, because most of them was raised by a woman and they've been beaten into submission their whole life. A lot of dudes actually fear women because of the relationship with their mother. Their mother them beat them. Look, excuse me again. I got a cousin, right? She got a couple sons, and I remember this was some years back. This maybe about 9 summers ago, I guess, maybe. But no, maybe about 7 or 8 summers ago. But anyway, I was at her house, and her sons were playing with their own little toys, whatever, and her daughter had a toy. So her daughter, she just want to put her toy to the side. She want to run over there and take their toy. And then when they was like, hey, we're playing with our toy, the mother jumped in. My cousin, she jumped in and started scolding her son. She's a girl. You give her whatever she wants. You don't take nothing from her. So I let her do what she had to do, whatever. So I caught her later on and pulled her to the side. I was like, yo, what the fuck was that about? How you going to teach your son some crap like that? Teach your son that no matter what, she's entitled to whatever she wants. And then what's that telling your daughter? With no accountability. That's why you see all these videos on YouTube now with women getting locked up, women getting thrown to the ground by the police, women getting in all these crazy situations because it's no accountability. If you feel like can't nobody touch you, then you're going to do whatever. It needs to be some structure here. I just don't get it. But anyway, I ain't want to make it a long time, but I just had that one question for y'all. What have y'all accomplished with feminism by having all this hoopla and so-called rights around being able to have an abortion and kill your kid and raise your son up to take more meat than you take, and your daughter out here, look, I'm in the store and I see this woman in the store. Her daughter had to be no more than about maybe 6. This broad put super tights on her daughter, had her dressed just like her. And I'm looking at her and I'm looking at the mother like, what the hell is going on here? You got this little girl dressed all like a thought like you. You got to remember, she had 3 or 4 in training, basically. What the hell is going on around here? Women now, man, I'm going to tell y'all something. I'm going to do another show on this and expound on it more for the fellas. Because I got some advice for the fellas, because y'all need to stop taking these L's messing with these black women now. I'm going to be honest with you. And y'all can take it how you want to take it. But black women right now, you better vet the hell out of them. I mean, vet them good. And if they ain't acting right, don't deal with them. Because I think a lot of people forgot about crack. A lot of these women out here now, crack grandbabies, crack babies, and crack great grandbabies. Crack don't just disappear. I think y'all need to do some research. When you start smoking that stuff, it changes a whole lot of stuff about your body. And you got this crackhead dude knock up this woman, or this woman, or this dude knock up this crackhead woman, either way, vice versa, that's gonna be a problem. I remember back in the 80s when they had news reports of crack addicted kids that were going through a whole bunch of stuff, and the projections that they had estimated about the learning disabilities to be moving forward and the mental instability that will follow. And I think it's finally starting to catch up, because I just don't understand it. I mean, no conscience about nothing. I went through one abortion in my life with my first love. We was real young. She got pregnant, and we had to go through the process. And I'll be honest with you, man, that whole process ripped my heart out my chest, and it destroyed, and it kind of like destroyed her for a while too. I mean, that was a very, very sobering moment for both of us. And I sometimes, throughout the years, I thought about how my son would have grew up and what he would have been. I ended up having a daughter, but later on with my wife. But and I'm gonna tell you, that destroyed her. And I don't want to really get into too much, because I don't want to say something that may cause some problems, so I'm just going to say it like this. Let's just say that I know for a fact that abortion disturbed her for years. For a long time, she didn't have closure over that. So I'm going to leave it right there. I'm not going to even get into any more about how or whatever, but I just can't imagine how somebody just walk into an abortion clinic all willy-nilly and be like, yo, here, take it out. Now, I didn't plan on sharing these videos. I just want to talk. But let me see. I found one video where this lady was talking about how the abortion regret just destroyed her. No, you know what? Here's what I'm going to play this one. This one right here. This video is about a woman explaining the abortion pill and what it really does. Let's see. I'm gonna make sure I get the right one. What's that say? Let's see. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, I mean, it's now, I don't know if anybody has ever witnessed or got any information or whatever on what an execution is and how they kill people through lethal injection. When this woman explains to you, she tries to pretty it up and try to change the verbiage on it so it don't seem so offensive. But I'm reading right through the line. Now, let me just explain how a state execution works, and then I'll let her explain it. You tell me if you hear any type of parallels to what I'm telling you. Now, when the state executes a prisoner, when they hit that button, the very first drug that goes into your veins, it shuts everything down. It shuts everything down. It stops everything from moving. It stops everything from going. It starts attacking everything from the inside. All right. Then you got that next plunger that they hit. That next plunger is the thing that actually takes you out. Right. So it's a two-step process. One chemical to basically render you disabled, and then the next one just basically takes you out. So we're gonna hear what this woman say, because it's eerily similar to a state execution. So listen to this.
A lot of people think about the abortion pill. They probably have heard of that, but actually medication abortion is comprised of 2 pills. So you've got mifepristone, which is the pill that you take first, and that ends the pregnancy, stops it from growing. And then the second pill, misoprostol, which helps expel the pregnancy from the uterus. And you can take these up to 11.
Now, basically, you hear what she just said? Now, the first one stops the kid from growing and just basically shuts it down. The second one is the one that takes it all the way out so the baby can expel from your body. So tell me what's the difference in that in a state execution? Introducing chemicals to do the same exact thing. But most people don't think about it like that. So basically, you just executing your child.
11 weeks into a pregnancy, and they're extremely effective. Prior to 2016, there were a lot of rules around medication abortion. You could only take these pills up to 7 weeks. They had to be dispensed in a doctor's office, and you had to come back and get the second dose. Like it was onerous, right? The pills have opened up access in part because there's been so much discussion about their importance after the fall of Roe. And so there's just been a real push to make sure that women know this is an option that's available to you. A lot of
So how does that benefit you? I mean, I'm still wondering. I mean, you all have me befuddled at this point. I just need to know, what is it that you all are getting out of killing your kids with through abortion, running the fathers away, and raising the kids up by yourself and destroying them? All this so-called freedoms and stuff that no black man, basically, if you want to go by color, I don't know, you like getting into the color stuff, because this racism thing is ridiculous. I mean, they put that shit on everything, man. I can't, it's like a bottle of hot sauce at this point. They put it on everything. Even stuff it don't even really supposed to go on. But that's my question. Put your answers in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. And I'll be back again, because I really want to get to these guys about how you need to move out here now, because y'all moving wrong. You're spending up all your money in these restaurants with these women who don't even have proper etiquette. I was looking at the video earlier, the broad was in the steakhouse cutting the steak like Fred Flintstone. I mean, she had this knife, she had the fork all turned like this, and was trying to cut the steak. I'm like, shorty, wait, what the hell is going on? These women don't even have no etiquette, but they want you to take them to expensive places and showcase them in public, and all they do is embarrass you. But this false bravado that they gave them with this feminism crap, it ain't gonna do nothing but just run them into a brick wall, and by the time they figure it out, it's gonna be too late. But that's my time. I'll be back again, because I got some work for you fellas, something for y'all to really think about, and I got some other stuff too. I just been kind of like doing other stuff lately, but I'm gonna get back into making a few more videos. See, my thing is, I don't make the videos for money. I don't even know how to get. I haven't even checked. I know how, but I haven't even checked into monetization and none of that stuff. I'm just using my voice. I mean, if you like what I got to say, you like it. If you don't, you don't. I mean, I'm not going to give anybody the ability to build me up, because those will be the same people to tear you down. If you like the message, drop something on it. If you don't, then don't. Okay? I don't care about this. I'm just saying what I got to say. So anybody out there might think, oh man, he just trying to get this. No. I don't care nothing about it. If money came along with it, cool. I mean, everybody love money, but I'm not doing it for the money. Not doing it for the money. I'm doing it because I have a voice and I want to share my experiences. So I'm at about 30 minutes, 35, whatever, 35. I'm 40. I'm 45, 50. 35, 40 there.